Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back. How are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing Wednesday. For today's video, we have something really exciting in store. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a first impression and look using the new Kaleidos and Angelica collection slash palette. Sorry for the beeping. I'm really excited for this, let me tell you. So Kaleidos did go ahead and send this over. Here is what the PR box looks like. You could purchase the box if you want to. I'll have it linked down below. I think that this is going to be officially available on the 17th of February. But yeah, here is what the box looks like. Really beautiful. It comes with like a deck of cards, which I think is just so like, I love this. It's $5 on their site. Like you can tell they're great cards. Do you know what I mean? Then we get the eyeshadow palette on the inside, really beautiful. So this right here is in collaboration with Angelica. Angelica makes beauty YouTube videos. She has an Instagram as well, of course. And her whole vibe is pretty much color, everything that's colorful. And she really is an amazing artist, I would say. Her looks are always really beautiful, and you can get so inspired by what she does. So yes, a massive congratulations to Angelica for creating such an amazing, beautiful palette with Kaleidos. This is a massive deal. The palette is magnetic. It opens up beautifully just like that, and in here we are getting 15 different eyeshadows. I love the outer packaging. I think it's really unique, very different, and something that we haven't really ever seen. On the inside we get a bunch of colorful shades. Definitely leans more towards like the cooler tone side. We get matte, duochromes, and multi-chromes. These are so pretty. A palette that I could totally see myself feeling very inspired by. I have to say, these feel very soft, very creamy. Let me share with you guys the swatches and then we'll get into the look. I'm so excited. To say, by just watching this the first time right now, the duochromes and multichromes just have like this buttery feel to them. The mattes also, they just feel very nice and smooth, and they're so pigmented. Usually when I'll swatch like a matte down here, because I have like those little bumpies like on my skin, you know, I have to exfoliate and stuff, but like sometimes they won't swatch that well, but these swatched amazingly. So a lot to work with here. Very cool color story. I haven't seen anything like this really, and I'm excited to see what I can come up with. Okay, so the first shade I want to go in with is this beautiful grape color in Silent. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm also going to be using the Morphe and Jaclyn JH30 brush. So I'm doing my regular technique. I'm pretty much just focusing the shade on the outer part of the eye and sweeping it inwards. It actually applied really nicely. It built up amazingly as well, and you guys can see like full on like pigmentation, you know what I mean? I was very impressed. I was like, wait, what? I loved it. I feel like with this voiceover, I'm speaking on telephone, but okay. Next, I'm gonna go on with the shade Rock Hopper. This is more of like a cool tone color with a Refer 01. So yeah, this is more like a cool tone purpley shade. I wanted to deepen up the outer part of the eye just to add a little bit more definition. I'm pretty much focusing it in the same area as like I did with the previous shade, but maybe like a drop lower. Really love this one. Wow. I'm going to go back with the initial fluffy brush, the JH30, just to kind of blend out both shades so there's no harshness and everything just looks a bit more like blended and seamless and smooth. I wanted to deepen up things a bit more, so I went in with this beautiful blue in Void. It's stunning, and I used the same Refer 01 brush. I just kind of like wiped it off. With this one, I started doing like a tapping motion on the outer part of the eye. And then once I was kind of happy with where I situated it, I just started blending inwards. Very impressed with this shade, I have to say. I expected it to be like, oh my gosh, vibes, you know what I mean? But it blended out really nicely. I didn't really have any fallout with this one, and it just looked really stunning. I think it's exactly what I needed for this look, because I wanted something extra, but I didn't really know which other shade to go in with. So I think I made the right choice with this one. Let me tell you, I love it. I'm so not used to this voiceover thing. Oh my goodness. The next shade I'm going to go in with is You're My Only Hope. This is a beautiful lavender whitish duochrome. So I applied it firstly with my finger just to get the most pigment out of this color. It was so nice. But then to get into the smaller areas, I used the JH41 brush. And you guys can see here, I'm just like doing this like tapping motion. And this is pretty much just going up all the way in the crease, and I'm kind of meeting this shade with the shades that I put in the outer part of the eye as well. I think that they look really beautiful together, I have to say. Very impressed with this one. I loved it. It really amped up this vibe. It amped up the look. Alright, I'll see you in the next clip. Okay, then for the lower lash line, I went in with the shade Void, that beautiful matte deep blue, and then I used the same brush that I used for the lids, the JH41. I just wiped it down, and I'm using it now to buff out the shade on the lower lash line. You guys can see here. I didn't even have to dip in twice to the color. It was really pigmented. And then I just went in with this random, slightly fluffier brush that I think I got in Ipsy. I think it was a Luxie brush or something, just to kind of buff it out a bit more, so it's not too harsh. And then here you guys can see I'm doing it on the other eye. Good job, Liora. Sometimes this eye is a little bit challenging because I'm a righty, so I kind of have to go like the opposite way kind of thing. But it turned out amazingly. I really loved it. Then for the inner corners, I went in with the shade of Firefly. This is a beautiful duochrome green. I went in with the same brush again, the JH41, wiped it down, of course. I took the product on the brush and then sprayed it with the Tula Mist, just so it's a bit more pigmented and vibrant. And yeah, here I was just feeling myself. I was like, yes! Then for the brow bone, I went in with the shade Nova. This right here is a glistening amethyst blue sparkling duochrome. I thought it really, like, you know, added something extra. So, yeah, I was feeling this. Yeah, looks good. Here are what the eyes look like once they're done. I really, really like it. For blush, I'm going to use one of the brand new Ofra blushes. These are called the Blush Zers because they're duos. Basically, it includes a blush and bronzer. How beautiful. So this right here is in Crew. Then this one right here is in Unit. And then this one right here is in Squad. All so beautiful. They also released cream blushes as well. I do have a code with them. It's just Liora for 20% off site-wide. Good stuff, let me tell you. Since I don't have blush, I figured I would use one with you guys. This one right here is in Squad. I'm going to also use the JH06 brush. Love Ofra blushes, by the way. They're so pigmented, easy to build up, and very, very yummy on the skin. I went with the deepest one. I just feel like it would go really well with this look. And I'm going to put it up here as well. I'm going to quickly put on some highlighter and lips, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. So that is pretty much it for the full look. I will have everything that I used linked down below in the description box. Just a little bit of a recap on the palette. Again, I love the packaging, really cool. Now let me share with you guys my thoughts on this based on using it for the first time. So I mentioned this quite a few times. The Kaleidos formula is not my ultimate favorite, but I think it's pretty good. This right here, I want to say, is the best palette I've used from them thus far. I find that the shades just blend out so much nicer. They apply easier on the eye too, and they really like adhere and look vibrant. I was very impressed mainly with like the matte, especially like the deeper shades, because usually with deep shades it can get really messy really fast. You really have to like take your time with these. You know, I don't like to do that. It's just like boom, bam, right away, and then I'm done. So I did. I went in as I usually would with like the deeper shades, and it blended out amazingly. I really didn't expect, especially this blue, to be as seamless. It didn't skip. It didn't feel like annoying. It didn't feel like a lot. I was really impressed. I was kind of like blending it out. I was like, hey, I didn't expect this, because usually with those kind of colors, it's like very hard to work with. So very impressed with that. And then with the other mattes, they just applied really nicely and seamlessly on the eyes. With these multi-chromes and duochromes, stunning. I feel like with whatever shade you place on bottom, it's going to kind of shift a different way, and it just kind of amps up your eyeshadow game to the next level. So I think that there's so much opportunity with this palette. There's a lot you can do. I also like the fact that I use this shade right here for the inner corner, just to spice it up, to do something a bit different. And I really like it. It's just a very unique palette, and like I said before, I feel like it's the kind of palette that I'd probably be very inspired to use, because the color combinations are almost endless with what you can kind of pair together, and the multi and duochromes really make this palette, I will say. So I'm really impressed with this so far. Cannot wait to keep using it. Once again, congrats to Angelica for this one. It's probably like a little baby like, yes, I love this. I definitely think that if you guys pick it up, you will really enjoyed, and I think that if you're someone who wants to be adventurous and you want to get out of your comfort zone, this is a great palette to work with. So we'll see what other looks I come up with, but I'm really happy with this one so far, and yes, I love, love, love this look. I think that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to reading what you guys have to say. Let me know if you're picking this palette up for yourself. Let me know if you're skipping out on it. I know there are limited quantities, so if you do want to get it on the 17th is when you could. But yeah, keep me posted, keep me in the loop, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.